So the character half of the Halloween Armory series is already out, and the weapons themselves will feature the legendary M4, the Holger, Maddox, and AK-47. And I've decided to try them all out in ranked matches just to check how they perform in the current metagame, as well as just review the legendary weapons themselves in general. And so the M4, it has pretty good accuracy and easy to control recoil. Fire rate is pretty fast as well, but the damage is just a disappointment. Like, we have many newer guns that are just superior to it. From similar niche, I would say literally just XM4, which is the main meta versatile assault rifle, or RAM7 even, or pretty much any other new assault rifle is just better in ranked. As for the legendary, it is also a huge disappointment because it is pretty obstructive. Like, when you are shooting, you actually find it hard, or I find it hard to see anything through the iron sight because it is just blocking too much view. And the weapon is also super shaky. Even though it is legendary, but it has just huge shake visual effect. And reminds me overall the situation of the DRH with claw, which is also huge, obstructive and shaky. And so unless you want to get like the whole Halloween arsenal, this one is just an absolute skip. Even for Battle Royale, the Thermal Shroud M4 would be the best, and the free legendary M4 variant is actually better compared to this one as well. And it was a bit of a struggle to get a gameplay with the legendary M4 this variant until I reached this match, and as you can see it was as if we were losing, but I managed to clutch, and well, the team as well. Not long ago, Holger was actually pretty good LMG. Like, when MG42 got nerfed a few times, they made a comparison video and said that it just has better mobility, which makes it more versatile. But in the current meta situation, even though it is more mobile, it is still pretty slow. And the fire rate as well as the damage is just no longer that competitive. Because again, we have USS9, VMP, RAM7, XM4, Odin. Like, all of them, we are pretty good in the damage department or firing rate department. And Holger, I think it is just a bit obsolete. And Chopper, actually, I've tried it out in the season as well after the buff. I would say it would be a better choice. As for the legendary, in terms of design, it is good. Iron Sight is great. It is basically like the old mythic Holger Iron Sight variant, except just more focused. And I have to say that I much preferred the old mythic Holger Iron Sight compared to the modified newer one. But there is one annoying thing, that even though it is a legendary, it is still pretty shaky. And well, I'm probably just too used to using mythics more often than legendaries, and I'm not even talking about epics. But this animation shake is just inconvenient for me, I have to say. Like, it just does all the Shakira for no reason. But it is, as far as legendary blueprint goes, it is great. Like, it is really good for a legendary, and overall, but for the meta, I would say it is not ideal. But compared to the XM4, this would be a better choice. Now the Maddox, so last year I said that it has to be the best from the arsenal simply because there are not many legendary variants for the Maddox overall in game. And basically there is a chance, well I said so last year, that it would be in the meta someday. But the thing is, it still hasn't gotten into the meta. So I guess from the perspective of overall legendary blueprint that there are not many of them. And this one, it does have a pretty good iron sight. So it is kind of not a bad choice, but at the same time in ranked, well, I'm using a gunsmith that I created with a monolithic suppressor variant. A suppressed one, not that echo fire mod which gives you like a burst damage. Because it just has too much recoil for me. And this gunsmith, it is alright, but it is not better compared to other aggressive assault rifles or even mid-range SMGs that we have. And I'm not even talking about like the USS-9 for instance, which also operates in a similar field of like overall performance. And it's really just not good. In BR, I don't think it is good either. So from the, again, the point of view that you can get a legendary Maddox, which is, I guess, pretty rare, you can go for it, but otherwise there is just no point to grab this one. And finally the pumpkin AK-47. Now the iron sight is pretty clear, even though it is kind of tiny, and we do have better variants like the Frostbrand, the Mythic or some other legendary AK-47s. I think this is one of the weapons that have the most legendary skins in game. But for the ranked performance, actually from all these four it felt the smoothest. Of course, I did have to mind the distance, like I did not try to be too aggressive with it, but it has really good damage. My build has solid range and wall penetration back to penetrate those walls and kill enemies behind them. And it was, and a big mag of course. And like I said, it was the easiest to get a good gameplay and like to just do well in ranked from all these four weapons. And I think that it is kind of not a bad choice to get. Now it is a bit bulky at the bottom, but it is also kind of clear because as you can see the iron sight is very well defined, even though it is very small like I said also. But this one is actually not bad. And I think if I had to choose one, I would probably go for the AK-47. If 2 add the Maddox, if 3 then the Holger, and then the M4. But again, I would like to accentuate that neither of them is particularly meta in ranked multiplayer. So like you can just skip them all honestly. But well, I did the Armory series because I already had the M4 and AK-47 like from earlier. And first I only got the Maddox because I did not have any legendary variants for the Maddox, as I did not like this key one. I skipped it, and then I was like, okay, I will just pull for the Maddox. And then once I had them all, I just kind of felt that I'm just gonna get the Holger as well and complete the Armory, you know. So otherwise I would not really bother getting any of them. And that would be my overall review about the meta and about the legendaries. Well, AK-47 is kind of OG, at least it used to be before it was returned in Armory series, I think for 3 years now, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, I think it is probably fair time that we are getting it back now. So the OGness is kind of gone, yeah. But, well, such is the review.